Okay, so this is going to be the final critique that we're going to be doing. We're going to be talking about other things after this. So for you guys that are still here, stick around because there's a lot of hilarious things that have been going on that I want to briefly touch upon. Coming off of the whole Wall Street Bets stream that we did, I have to talk about what's going on right now. And like update you guys on all the news. So we're actually not going to be finishing off with Duck Hunt. We're going to be finishing up with Jigglypuff and Mario. I forget if you submitted something earlier, Spiderpig, to like a previous stream. I want to say you didn't, but like we've had a couple of puffs on here, and I don't know where you guys are coming from, but we've had a couple of you guys on here, so we'll talk about you here. Oh God, yeah, dude, yeah, you're that Nair against Duck Hunt up B and even the can was so bad. That was so bad for Duck Hunt. They're not as bad now. Okay, Shrimp was the person that sent it here. All right. So we're gonna be talking about Puff, Mario. So on paper, I would assume this isn't really a good matchup for Puff, just because like I feel like all of Mario's buttons are going to beat out Puff, like in terms of like not only the power, but like you can even like anti-air with up smash pretty easily in certain situations, I would assume. So that can make it kind of hard. And you might even be able to jank her out with up B on the top platform of Battlefield, which I don't think we're gonna have to worry about that here, but like that would be something to be aware of. And then if you get like caught by down air, like that's gotta be the most depressing GG that can happen. Because like I feel like that move could just like lead to a lot of very, very jank situations. And not to mention he's gonna be pretty good at sharking, very good mobility in the air and on the ground too. So he should be able to keep up pretty easily. But like on the other hand, well, honestly, because Mario's frame data is so good, I don't really know how you pick your openings. That's something that I'm gonna have to like kind of theory craft as we go along to this, just because like I'm not as used to how Puff works in this game as compared to something like Melee. The one thing that you at least have as Puff is, I would assume there might be ways that you can outrange him. Not entirely sure if your fair or backer can do that, and if you can't do that, well, that's extra rough. Obviously, you have more drift, so that's the one way that you're going to be able to outrange. But what I'm going to say is this matchup is going to come entirely down to how well you can read the Mario's habits. You have the mobility to keep up with them, so that's not going to be the issue. This is one thing I will say about approaching. Because you're playing Puff, I don't think Puff has a good approach game. Because, like, Puff is basically relying on your opponent throwing out bad moves and, like, hitting you in those moments. So, it may be more... Not only is, like, Puff not good at approaching, you just have to, like, think... You have to understand the game and your opponent very, very well to approach well. And I think that's, like, just going to natively be an issue outside of certain matchups. Certain matchups will be pretty easy. But, like, a matchup like this, I don't think you have a good way to approach. You just have to understand what your opponent wants, and you need to learn how to bait that out, which is probably where a player like Hungrybox would become very, very good to watch. So, with that said, let's dive right in. Oh, there's no music. Okay, cool. So we can have this playing in the background. Okay, so first thing I'm going to mention, he's doing a pretty consistent pattern with that fireball. So at the moment, don't challenge that. What you want to do is look in the areas that he's throwing out those fireballs, and when he's doing it, approach with an attack like forward air or like nair. So that way you can eat up the fireball and punish him for it, because he's approaching with the fireball. So if you clank the fireball, your attack should go through and hit him as well. So something to keep in mind, when Mario's mash nair, the hitbox is on the bottom of him. It is not on the top. So if you are above him in that instance, because you're floaty, so there's a good chance that's going to be happening when you're comboing him, you don't have to worry about nair as long as you're above the feet. So you can keep pressuring him. You don't have to like fade out and do that jump in those instances. A little bit harder to keep track of on the fly, but if you train your eye well enough, you should be able to keep track of that. Like there, yeah. Like there, you had to drift back. But like if you're above him, not an issue. Good call out there. See, like right there, you just completely beat out the fireball with your forward air there. Good thing that you jump back there. You don't want to be on top of him. That was a very risky nair. He could have up smashed that. No! Oh! I'm pretty sure you know what you did there. Okay, so you're Jigglypuff. And the wonderful thing about you being Jigglypuff is that your mobility is absolutely amazing. So when you run up and you dash back, you just stay here waiting for that roll. If he gets him in place, you can just jump back air him, and you can jump back air from this position and hit him. You only need to be here to cover roll and to cover get up in place or get up attack or roll away. So just do that, bait the roll, and if he doesn't, you can just jump back air. And you jump back air, you fade back in, and that's it. That's the setup you have here. Absolutely never a reason for you to run off and like go over here and like eliminate one of the possibilities right there. That's like Jigglypuff 101 stuff. Also, yes, now that is a thing that you need to keep in mind. As Jigglypuff, you can pressure shield pretty safely with those drift backs. Obviously, make sure you're not doing anything too greedy. Yeah, narrowing out shield's not bad. That's perfectly fine. Just making sure you always drift. When you see their heads poking out, always aim for that. Just get the most precise hitbox that you can to deal with it. Which I think in this case, it might be Nair. Because this gets like a little thick, this might become a little hard, but like Nair is a little bit more consistent. Just like whatever hitbox you use, just find a very consistent way, or up air. Up air. You could probably up air it a lot easier because it's starting above you. Just learn how to do that against him, and you will like increase your punishment very good. Yeah, Nair's pretty good. Nair's pretty good for that. Yeah, so this is the range that you want to find. Like when he's like half a screen across is when you want to approach with an attack, so you clank out Fireball and you punish him. Yeah, like get used to that spacing to punish. Caught you. He was caught you holding there. Oh, man, you got really greedy there. Yeah, as Jigglypuff, there's kind of never a reason to air dodge in. Just air dodge off stage. He's not really going to punish you. What was that? Again, just go over here and jump, run over there, and then like turn around, and like back air's going to kill him at this percentage. Yeah, okay, so he's keeping that in mind now. Remember, when you do Nair, you specifically want to hit drift away. Don't approach. Approaching Nair is terrible. That's something you never want to do. Now that's terrible, yeah. Like you cannot cross up with Bear like that. Like what you want to do is like if you're in front of him, all you want to do is like aerial away. Don't aerial cross up. That up smash is going to catch you every single time. And the up smash starts from the back. And I believe it's frame 7? Frame 9. Up smash is frame 9. So like you're not escaping that. See, look, like that move is so strong. Why like just be ready to use it at the ledge. Yeah, see, like, he was ready for it. He just mistimed it. So what you want to do is, like, since, like, you've kind of done, like, a lot of bad nairs, something that you can do to trip your opponent up is, like, jump, approach nair, but stop. Stop right here, then wait for the up smash, and then punish him. And if you want, like, a pretty good way to, like, punish him without, like, guaranteeing that you need to hit him, do, like, a pound. Because like it lingers a lot, and if it hits his shield, then basically you get free shield pokes. And if you don't get free shield pokes, that means that he's not shielding, which is also another pretty basically you understand what he's going to do to play. which that's a very good thing to know. If he's not going to be shielding, that means that means he's just going to be attacking, and that makes him predictable. Oh man, you went for a hard read there. Yeah, this is very bad. That's bad approaching. Surprised you dropped shield there. Wow, that caught you. That was pretty far back too. Oh, no, you were pretty close actually. Dang, he like barely clipped you right there. Yeah, so you're falling down and like closing in with a lot of aerials. That's very bad. If he keeps track of that habit, he can just like dash back F smash you. Yeah, again, like you just cannot do unsafe aerials on a shield approaching. Like you want to be out, when you do aerials, you want to be outside of his range. You don't want to actually give him a punish. That's the whole point. You do it right outside his range, he whiffs an attack, and then you go in and get your punish. Yeah, no, this is fine. You literally don't have to approach him. Yeah, see, like, this is the thing. 99% of Wi-Fi players that you're going to come across against will get bored before you get bored. So if you stay diligent and you're willing to wait this down to 1 minute, like, they're probably going to panic and approach you because they don't want to be bored. And, like, you could use that against everybody, like, even in tournament. People have a very hard time dealing with boredom, and if you can have fun with just frustrating them, learn to do that. And especially as Jigglypuff, oh my god, that's such a powerful tool. Like, realistically, you probably should have died. That was very bad. You could have just, like, gone above him and, like, down-aired him, too. But you chose the option that actually should have gotten you killed there. So you were playing into his trap there. It was just bad execution on his part. So obviously, don't go for the area that's going to get you punished. That's just common sense. Like, if you know the fist is going to be there, you don't go where the fist is going to be. So something that you do need to learn is, like, you need to learn how to properly. You do need to learn how to properly pressure shield safely, and you need to learn how to bait out options from them and punish your opponent. Because right now you're like just kind of getting frustrated and you're trying to hit him. No, Wolfers, it's not a faulty trap. So the thing is, it's like when you play against people enough and like you just like kind of understand like people's like psychology to a point, like it's going to work well. When you get to high level gameplay, like tournament past pools, that's when you can't do that anymore. You can still outpatient them. Like even if you're down a stock, you definitely can. Like you can definitely do it to a point where you could show them that you are willing to like whittle their entire spirit down, and it will break a lot of players. Like even good players still break under that pressure. And then when you like when you force a game like with like a minute and a half left, they're way more likely to mess up. Way more likely to mess up. You just have to like learn how to play with that diligence, and you need to understand the players that actually have that same diligence as you. There are very few players that really have the full diligence. Most likely Sonic players probably do. They're like the one group of players that I would say like 60% of them are fine with timing you out, but I would say it's still 60%. If you're playing against like a Wi-Fi Sonic that like doesn't do well, there's a good chance that you can probably time them out. And like they like, because like they're used to running away from you, so there's at least an interaction there. But if you're not like, you will not even commit to interacting with them, like chasing them, they will break. Like most people do not have the mental fortitude to like keep to that at all. Like something that I do that's like really funny is like when I play with Owl, something that something that I do is like I pick Jigglypuff and I go in Palutena's temple and I just run away from him the entire time. Like I remember one time I was playing against him and I was down 2 stocks and I just still kept camping him the entire time. And by the end of it, I had like the % lead. It was the funniest thing in the world. And there was like, I think like 3 minutes left still when I was down 2 stocks. And even like when I'm playing him on like FD or like a Battlefield, I've been able to manage that. You're down 2 stocks, but because like you just play so lame and you just keep camping him out and you refuse to interact with them, like you can just like put them in situations where they'll like kill them. It's really, really funny. Like Jigglypuff is one of the absolute best characters because like, her approach game is really weak, but she can definitely wall out basically every single character as long as you do that. Well, mainly it's significantly stronger with Jigglypuff. In this game, because she doesn't have a destroy and back air, it's a lot weaker. And no L canceling, so it's not like you could really chain them together nearly as well. But yeah, it's a very easy thing to practice on Wi-Fi, like in terms of just like breaking people's spirits, because like these people will rage quit on you before they decide to play with you. And they will rage quit on you once they start losing. That's the key thing. Generally, if you stop approaching them, they won't rage quit immediately. It's like once you start making the game close, and then like they will yell whatever obscenity that they want, and then they will rage quit. And when you've gotten to that point, you know you won. So practice that. Very good thing to practice. See, like right there, like it was pretty guaranteed he was going to land with that back air there. So like you got to charge like an F smash to get ready to intercept that. No, that's a very high level thing. Don't do that right now. Oh yeah, no, you always have a reason to camp. There's no reason not to camp. Because the thing too is like you're also playing Jigglypuff, so if you know how to get your rest combos, like being 1 stock down is not an issue. Not an issue at all. Ah, he got you there. Yeah, that's something that you have to be ready for Mario. He can burst with that option. Dr. Mario, not as much. Regular Mario, absolutely. So yeah. You do need to make sure, like, if you're right here and he's like right over here, like the edge of the platforms, he can burst up smash. So you need to be ready for that. So if you see him there, like, be very cautious about how you're throwing out your aerials. So like what he did right there is kind of like the idea that you want to have about like punishing him. And you need to like know your states. So you need to know like, okay, when am I just waiting for him to come to me? When am I pressuring him because he has no shield? And all those all those different things. Think about those instances when he's going to be landing and he's going to be without a shield, and what instances lead to that. When he's doing fireball pressure, remember you can aerial through it. So get an idea of where he's throwing those out and how you can approach with your aerial and just go right through it. So those are the main things you need to keep in mind there. But yeah, basically you played that first stock fine, but like once you kind of felt the pressure that you were losing, you were just approaching a lot. And even when you're getting hit, you were like kind of magnetized towards him, and he just like kept walling you out. And that's kind of why you lost. He had a lot more patience than you. And the other big drop that you had was that you were not confident in I'm pretty sure you know your roll setups, but like you were just not confident in doing that, and you didn't know your ledge setups in particular, or like you didn't commit to them. Like whenever you're over here and you've hit your opponent in the corner, there's no reason for you to leave here until they have committed to get up in place, get up attack, or roll away, because you should always be ready to cover this and then just be ready to cover the rest with back air. There's no reason to mix it up with anything else. Or dash attack. Dash attack's fine too, because it's a pretty quick burst option. But yeah, just get used to doing those things, and just get used to like getting a more consistent punish game here, and that will help you. Like I think if you had that, you might have taken the game, or this would have been on the final stock, because like you got him in this position quite a bit. So make sure you're diligent with that. Make sure you're more diligent with camping and not approaching him, because like that's pretty much why you lost. And like learn how to pressure him without hitting a shield, because like your positioning, like if Mario's right over here in shield and you're right over here and you didn't commit to any attack, then he's going to feel like he needs to throw out something because you've been like hitting his shield so often, and you will get a free punish off of that. So learn how to pressure him by not hitting him, but just by being there. That's a very important thing about Jigglypuff. You need to learn that your positioning is a punish in and of itself. And once you get that eye concept down, then that'll be very good. Actually, for you. I don't know if you were in the chat before, but like that Core Gaming Hadoken video, that greatly applies to Jigglypuff, because understanding what your punish zones are, depending on where you are, is super important to remember. Because once you have that down, your Jigglypuff will get significantly better because of that. So Spiderpig, do you have any questions that you would like to ask? Anything not clear? Anything else that you think you should work on? And while they are answering that question, once again, I would like to remind you all, if you do want to support the channel, there are a couple ways that you can do that. You can always, of course, support by giving a sub. If we can get 35 subs, we're currently at 23, the bar on the bottom is wrong, then we will be able to add an extra emote on here. You can do this by giving gift subs, which is something that you gift to anybody watching the channel right now. Or you can subscribe yourself, which will give you access to these wonderful emotes that we have here. The first 3 that you see are the level 1 emotes. Then the Voodoo Wang is the level 2 emote, so for super fans. Then also, if you have the Twitch Prime account or an Amazon Prime account, that gives you a free Twitch Prime sub, which you can use to support this channel. And using your sub here will not only give you access to those first 3 emotes, but it also does support me financially as well, which is greatly appreciated. And if you check the links down below, you'll find the Duck Hunt Discord store, which will not only help me, but it also help the greater Duck Hunt community. And if you get the coasting one, the proceeds from that will go to the artists that work on them, which includes Kiki Ray here in the chat. And yeah, there's also the direct donation button too if you want to use that as well. And bits as well. So by all means, those are all the different ways that you can support. And of course, following, shouting out the stream as well. That will always help too. So those are the various mystical ways. Oh, thanks for the Prime, dude. Greatly appreciate it. Very poggies with that. I forget that like the stream on the actual on the actual Twitch playback is so delayed compared to what I hear. Ah, yeah, so we're currently 11 subs away. And next week we're going to lose the 11 gift subs from the whole Wall Street Bets thing. So we're gonna be down in for a massive loss pretty soon. So I don't think we're gonna hit the 35 anytime soon, but hopefully we can. Hopefully we can. All right, so it looks like it doesn't look like Spiderpig has a question. I'm going to presume. So I'm going to just cut off the recording here.